I have friends and family who I would like to know if they have been back since I spoke. Because, I still have, a squad. Guys are like, so we're coming because you're speaking. I'm like, yeah, go back another day, So I'm talking to Dawn Brasero from Engage Kenya, and the other part of Engage Kenya is Agatha Juma, but she couldn't be here. And I now want to talk about just Engage, because we've already said you need to come to the next one. Your favorite, and I'll go first so I don't put you on your spot.
Yes.
So I hadn't really listened to Engage until I became part of it.
Okay.
I think I listened to one or two. I still think by and large, John Gumi is a powerful one. One, because John has a stutter. It's for somebody to put themselves in the space John put himself. And I know he has a very tough time speaking publicly. John doesn't look at the crowd when he's speaking publicly because people tend to urge him and he doesn't like it. So John Gumi, still one of my favorites. I totally love the whole What's Love Got to Do With It series. That was just great. I'm still really, really, drinking in Life is Fair. I loved Kisumu, but more importantly, so I caught Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, I caught Jalango, and then I had stopped until you told me to listen to Sylvia, Valerie.
Yes.
Wow, what a story. And she tells it so well, you need to go and find it. So those are mine, so I'm not putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Even as organizer and the person who sat in the room and listened to all the speakers get ready, which were the ones that made you think, wow?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
Because, so this is the thing. So I love them for different reasons, but I'll share a few. So I do share your sentiments about John.
Yes.
And I loved John's speech because John stood there and spoke about his father.
Yes.
That's not a thing a lot of men do. And he didn't just speak about his father in unflattering ways. He was very real about it.
Yeah.
His relationship with his father. So I got that, and that was early on in Engage. So I really connected with John because of the way that he told that story about his old man. He spoke about wealth. He spoke about losing wealth.
Yes.
So that was fascinating. But the other person who fascinated me even more was Martin Odwor, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
Martin Odwor has discipline. He has commitment to the process. Now, so by the time he gets up to speak, he's a man who is so accomplished and so willing to learn that he told his story in a way that I was left thinking, wow, this is a man who's been CEO of KCB, who's been PS Minister of Finance, but he stands up there, he's talking about crossing the streets with his old man in a metal box. This man talks about being fired over the lunchtime news. This is a man who talks about victory and triumph over adversity, and he did it with such grace and with such commitment.
Yes.
But he did it because he cared enough to follow the process. Now, this is a thing, and this is why I love it. For me, I love them for different reasons, because we go through the process. Many times when you speak to prominent individuals who usually speak, their response is like, you're actually honored to have me there, so I'll just show up. So you invite...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll just show up. Time, place, and everything. But when you tell them, and at Engage, we require you to go, you went through the process. We require you to go through a 4-session coaching, peer review coaching session. So when you have a man who is considered prominent coming to those sessions, taking the feedback, standing up there, you're correcting him, you're telling him it does not make sense, you're telling him there is no connection, and he takes it in and he gets up there and speaks, that man needs to be respected. June Gashui.
Isn't she the funniest person you know?
She's like the awesomest person I know.
She's just, I loved her. Find it.
Yeah.
She's really good.
You all must listen to June.
June
because
is great.
June has a way of telling a story. June can be raw, she can be witty, she connects. She is not ashamed to share.
Yeah, I know.
From the core of her being, from the core of her experience. So I love June because June has a way of telling a story in a manner that makes the audience comfortable.
And still leave you laughing,
In
but
stitches.
thinking
About,
Yeah.
and she is deep, and she is witty, and she is funny, and she makes you comfortable.
Yes.
June can talk about being at the bus stop, which is really a story about trying to get out of this thing of being single.
Single, yes.
But as a man who's married, you're still connecting to that story
Totally.
because she speaks about being single, but touches on themes about life, love, commitment in such a powerful manner. So
Yes.
I love June. I think it's the one video I've probably watched maybe 14, 15 times.
Oh, really?
And each time I laugh, and yet I know what's coming next.
Yeah, actually, I get that.
So I love June as well. But then also Life is Fair was amazing because starting from Ashu, for me, what fascinated me about this experience is it's not easy in fact, all the speakers for Life is Fair touched me, yet I knew those stories.
You need to watch Ashu's because I know Ashu's story.
Yes.
And if he wasn't time barred, it would be a totally different story.
It would, because,
Yeah.
and everyone there, whether it was Ashu, Akacho, simple things that
haven't
we
watched
don't think
Akacho
about.
yet.
I mean, losing a husband 1 year into the marriage, and losing one through something as tragic as heart disease. You know, so those are things, those are experiences we've heard about, but somebody being brave enough to stand there and share that, for you to probably, maybe even, some of you might judge them.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you might say, what's so special about you? What's special about them is that they were bold enough to stand up there and share it. And that's what Engage does. Engage
Boldness.
heals.
Wanja
Boldness.
Mishuki.
Yes.
That is bold.
Ooh, Wanja was bold.
I know, Wanja, and considering I know her,
Yes.
Even the day I shared it on my Facebook page, she gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh, wow.
You should watch Wanja's. If you haven't watched Wanja's,
if you haven't watched
watch it.
Wanja Mishuki, find her.
Because many times, what I love about Wanja's story is, you know, it's a Kenyan thing to believe that if you come from what we consider to be prominence,
Yes.
you're not going through anything.
You know?
Yeah, we sort of hate on you because surely everything is
mean,
going
it's
right for you.
wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
So when somebody like that stands up and says, hey, I went through this when I was 5. I was abused when I was 5. I have had these challenges in my life all along, and I am getting through that. Then I guess you're able to reach somebody and touch them. So Wanja, simply because she could tell that story, and it's an amazing, when you get to listen to that story, you get the sense that prominent families are just like you and
They're
I.
people.
They're just people.
They're
They're normal.
people.
And that the stories they have, the experiences they have, are the same ones that you and I share.
Now you're going to go to Engage? You have to. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I would encourage a lot more of the Engage alumni to do this. I'm going to create a playlist of 10 of my favorite out of your of all the different Engage items and share it on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
So let people, you know, you can listen to it like podcasts.
Yes.
And maybe just 1 or 2 or 3 of them, because we're all different, will inspire you to not only come and engage, be part of Engage, and also bring a friend to Engage. Yeah, because I have friends and family who I would like to know if they have been back since I spoke. Because, you know, I still have, you know, a squad. Guys are like, so we're coming because you're speaking. I'm like, yeah, go back another day, you know? So, and this is an admission I have to make. I listen to a lot of narratives. I listen to them off. I am a TED Talk, you know, junkie. I will take in as many as I can. I don't share them. I share Engage because those are our stories by my people in a way that I understand.
And for our people
Yes.
to learn from those experiences.
Exactly. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Ted and the Moth, but very rarely will you find me sharing any of those. But for me, our stories, in our voices, in our space, is huge. And I more than anything else, I want to say congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Well
very
done.
much.